great to be with everybody this evening, and happy early Martin Luther King Day. Hope that folks are able to really take in that day and observe it in the way that would be appropriate, which is fighting for justice all along the way. So I love this passage. It's always been a favorite of mine, especially this line that is, what good has ever come from Nazareth? I mean, this I feel like this just like sums it all up for me. Every community I have organized in, the question always is, what good has come, from Montgomery, Alabama? What good has come from Selma? What good has come from Kensington, North Philadelphia? What good has come from Immokalee, Florida? Always being completely floored that the good news of liberation for all actually indeed comes from these forgotten and overlooked places. And I feel like that's exactly what's happening, in this passage, and as we heard Pastor Best then, and then the come and see. Well, let's show you the good, because there is so much. So I was thinking about this passage, and also about this reminder in this passage that the word disciple is also a word for, or a rabbi is a word for a teacher, and decided that the best thing I could do with the time I was given this evening would be to read from one of the books that we put out many years ago. It's a book called Pedagogy of the Poor, and it's written by Willie Baptist and our colleague Jan Raymond. And Willie and myself have a chapter at the end of it that's about a bunch of the lessons on teaching, learning as we lead, teaching as we fight, from the movement, from the Kensingtons and the Immokalees and the Selmas and the Montgomerys, from the forgotten places, from the Nazareths, but of our day. And so I decided I could read from it because I wasn't sure that this community has actually read this book before or heard from it. And I thought I could whet a little bit of people's appetites to go and check that book out. And so we write, in our work of building a social movement to end poverty, we have found that education is central. If we're serious about the work of ending poverty, we don't have to merely do more actions, we have to do smarter actions. We don't have to just be more active, we have to be more effective. We live in a very pragmatic society. Many of us think that if we just start one more program or effect one more policy change, it will bring an end to poverty. But our experience has shown that poverty is more complex than that, and it is going to take the clarity, the competence, the connection and commitment to achieve real social change in this country. To outfight the forces arrayed against us, we must outsmart them. Nowhere in world history can anyone find where a dumb force rose up and defeated a smart force. Therefore, it is vitally important for anyone interested in ending poverty to develop an engaged intelligence that will outsmart, not only outorganize their current conditions that cause poverty and misery. Leadership is the key, and it's the first stage of development in building a social movement. Before the elements of mass and velocity of a social movement are considered, its direction must be determined. This is what leadership of a social movement is all about. History teaches us that this leadership is twofold. One, the unity of the leading social force for social change. That is, a unity on the basis of needs and demands incompatible with the status quo. And two, systematically educated and trained corps of leaders sufficiently connected, clear, competent, and committed to enlighten and organize the leading social force. Today's society is defined by the problem of ever-deepening polarity between wealth and poverty. The poor and dispossessed are the leading social force because they have the least or no stake in such a polarized society. Either they end in inhumane polarity or it will end them. In the last years of his life, the words and work of Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. anticipated the present situation. His launching of the Poor People's Campaign in 1967 and 68 inspires us today. The strategic concept introduced behind this historic campaign was the need and possibility to, quote, lift the load of poverty through uniting the poor across color lines into, quote, a new and unsettling force. The Poor People's Campaign, in response to the present deepening economic and social crisis, the Cairo Center has taken up this mantle by working to reignite a new Poor People's Campaign in response to the present deepening economic and social crisis. We believe that a campaign adapted to today's economic and political situation is needed to build a broad social movement to end poverty. The first step and requirement in organizing and building this campaign and movement is the development of a united and sophisticated core of leaders capable of analyzing and putting forth solutions to address the scale and complexity of poverty today. It seeks to carry this mission out by helping establish a multiracial, multi-faith, multi-issue network of grassroots community and religious leaders. Central to this process is the identification and development of leaders who are emerging out of the growing ranks and struggles of the dispossessed. Learning from the crippling effects of Dr. King's assassination, the Cairo Center is clear that there is a need to develop many Martin Luther Kings. Such leaders are not developed spontaneously, but instead must be systematically educated and trained. So I just wanted to share those words because when I read that passage, I think about all of these lessons coming out of the Nazareths of our day. And when I think about Dr. King and what it looks like for us to really honor and lift him up, it's to take up the mantle that he left and to take it and march it the next mile. So it's always amazing to be in this crew. It's always powerful to be in worship with you all. And there's no community I would rather be in than this group here as we lift up King by developing many, many, many Martins. Let it be so. Happy King Day.